Jabber talk, jabber talk. Jabber, 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 jabber talk. Jabber talk, jabber talk. Jabber, 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 jabber talk. Miss Jabber, Miss Jabber, Jabber talk.
Here we are again, another Jabber Talk podcast. Here I am, Jacqueline Malcolm, and there is a pixie sitting right on the pod, pulling faces at me right now.
What else should I do? I'm the pixie in the room. On the pod.
Sitting on the pod. So, we love our podcast. Of course, we're still on hiatus from the radio show. We still are there every Tuesday, but
Yes.
we're not physically there, of course.
No.
But you can still enjoy some of those interviews from our archives.
Yes, as I am.
As we are.
We've met so many interesting people over the times, haven't we?
I know.
I mean, you were doing it on your own first. I think the people you were meeting first were more interesting, honestly. That is not true at all.
Not
We've
true
met
at all.
some very, very interesting people.
You've been really, really, I feel blessed.
Yeah.
The guests that we've had on our shows. They've all been amazing, all had tremendous stories to tell, but what I love about them all is that they've been so open and willing to be that vulnerable and share what has been some traumatic experiences and how they've overcome them and some exciting experiences. But, to be that honest and raw and open, we're first of all two strangers because it's always the first time we've met.
Yeah.
And
well,
then,
not strangers to each other. We are not, but just strangers to them.
Yes. But then also knowing they're then being that vulnerable with an unseen audience.
Yeah.
Which I think is just phenomenal. So we've had a fantastic time.
I've got to say, I think that's a lot of it is down to you because you're very good at creating a safe space for people to feel that they're welcome and that they can talk and that they will be, regardless, they'll be appreciated.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. And regardless of what they've done, people don't feel like they have to meet up to some unhidden agenda or criteria to be able to come into the room and sit down. You find a way to celebrate everybody.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely.
Perhaps me.
I was just about to start celebrating you because I think the reason why it works as well with having you in the room is because you always add that element of fun. Yeah. And so there's that thing of when I can take people into a really deep corner of their lives, you always have a brilliant way of making sure that it stays balanced so that no one's going to suddenly burst into tears and, want to end everything because it becomes suddenly too much.
Right.
So it's really, I think it's a really good balance. And I'm really glad that we decided to bring you in on those interviews. But having spoken, I'm laughing because our door, it keeps swinging open. Why don't you just use the doorstop?
Because the doorstop, no.
Pixie, sit down. You need to sit down.
I'm here.
You're going to start getting tired. Your back's going to start hurting. Your knees will start hurting. Get the chair back.
The doorstop won't be strong enough.
It is because I use it all the time.
Right, I'll let it out my foolishness.
So,
thank you for saying that. That's very nice of you to say so.
Yeah, and it's very true.
Yes.
So I hope you still listen in to our shows on Tuesday on Colourful Radio. But putting that to the side, this is the Jabber Talk pod. And today we're talking about one of my favourite subjects.
And speaking of interesting people.
Right?
Crazy.
I mean, my favourite subject is Elon Musk. I mean, he is a fascination. If there's anyone on this planet who reminds me of 666... the mark of the beast.
Well, he kind of did that with Trump, didn't he? Because it's like he sided in with Trump, helped to get him where he is.
Exactly. No, the man has extraordinary powers.
Yeah.
And way too much money. He has more money than most countries.
Crazy, isn't it?
It is ridiculously crazy. How much were you saying he's worth?
36 billion?
36 billion pounds.
Yeah. I don't know how
more
up
money
to date
than
that article
a
is,
lot
but
of countries.
yes.
He
certainly
could
more
end
money
world hunger on his
me.
own. Certainly more money than you, for sure.
And instead he's spending it trying to get us to outer space.
There you go. I mean, I do understand what he's saying. He is spending it to get us to the next level.
Right.
My biggest question is, do we want to get to the next level?
Right.
Instead of spending it on the next level, why not spend it to fix the problems on this level?
Yeah.
Because this level is nice,
Because
right?
that's what's going to happen, though, isn't it? I think that's the problem, is that we keep, as human beings, we try to solve our problems by moving to a new place or taking it to the next level.
There you go.
But we don't solve any problems. We just bring the same problems with us and just recreate them in a new way.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Because we are who we are.
Because we are who we are. So, here we have to question. The reason why we want to talk about Elon Musk today is not because of his businesses and so forth, but because, well, yes, because of his businesses, because of one particular company that he set up, Neuralink. Neuralink, for those who can say neuro very nicely, and like me. Neuralink brain chip, his AI brain chip. This is what we're going to be talking about today. So to give people an idea, for those who do not know, this is what he's working on.
Right.
It is literally a chip that he wants to implant in people's human skulls so that we can
merge.
We can merge, thank you. We can merge much better with software. I would say be controlled by software, because that's my stance on it. I see it very much as another form of control.
Right.
But he's saying then with this chip, which then of course is implanted into our skulls in order to operate and connect software directly to our brains. So it's a piece of hardware that then connects software to our brains. So our brains become a computer.
Right.
So that
I will just say at this point, for those of you who can't see, which is all of you, that Jackie is demonstrating with her hands on her head as what the chip is going to look like. How she knows,
I know,
I'm not
exactly
sure.
right.
So it's probably
Literally.
good that you can't see.
I've decided it's going on the right side of the brain. No doubt it will go at the back of the brain.
But you did it very elegantly.
Thank you. But, so, he literally is working on this chip. Literally, this is something that is going to be happening.
Yeah.
Working on this chip to put in human brain. And he is saying it as a plus. Some of the things he's saying as a plus will be that, number one, we won't necessarily need a human language.
Wow.
He says that we'll probably more just speak to each other out of that feeling of, oh yeah, but that's how we did it in the old days. It's the feel-good aspect.
Yes, because I love words.
Yeah, we won't need to, because we will be able to think it all and talk to each other via computers.
Right.
Now look at the world. We've gone into lockdown. We've gone into the mode where we have to be online.
Yeah.
So therefore, why are we talking to each other? Why do we need each other if we're all online?
Right.
So this is where he's trying to get us to. So we're operating without the need of actual human contact. He is also saying the chip could potentially be used to restore eyesight, hearing and limb movement, in addition to addressing diseases that affect the brain.
Oh, wow.
So it's the AI brain chip. That is what we're discussing very, very quickly.
And here's the difficult thing.
Go.
So it's like he's probably designing this or thinking of this with all the positive aspects.
Yes.
Of, this is what it will gain us. This is what it will gain us. This is what it will gain us. As I'm sure, as many other people did with many other inventions that then went terribly wrong. And it's like, yes, so in one hand it will be good, but then in another hand, it's more likely going to be used as some kind of weapon, as some kind of controlling weapon.
Exactly, because we have people like President Trump who have no particular regard for human life.
No.
And so the thought that you are able to actually control people, imagine soldiers, sending them out to war, and you can control their brains. So now you don't even have to think about it on the human side.
Right.
There is no morals or ethics that need to come involved.
Right.
If you're just controlling them on the brain side in war. So,
I'm just thinking as well, on this, while we're talking about war, how long would it be? Because, okay, so like one country or whatever, across the world, they develop missiles.
Yeah.
Then because someone's developed missiles, then everyone else starts developing missiles.
Yeah.
And then someone else develops an anti-missile shooter-downer.
Right.
So then how long is it before one country who is in war with another country develops an app
Yes.
that can control all the brains of the people with these chips in this other country?
Thank you.
All of a sudden, the
Just have to
soldiers
shut them down.
that you were using to fight will then all of a sudden be fighting against you because
Yes.
they've designed this other thing.
That
And
overrides
yeah.
your chip.
Exactly. And don't
Thank
tell
you.
me about security, and don't tell me about, oh, it's all right, you can have all this Intel secure thing. Because look at our computers. We get hacked all the time because there are people behind it always working out new technology.
Exactly.
There are more than one Elon Musk. He's
Yeah.
just the one who's making the money.
Exactly. And likes to be in the forefront.
Yeah.
Because most people of his ilk and his money, they, like the Rothschilds, for instance, they're very good at staying in the background, not letting their name be known.
Yeah.
He's just one of those people who is slightly narcissistic,
Yeah.
so therefore he needs to speak about and be seen for
Yes.
what he's doing. Now, here's my fear as well.
Uh-oh.
Neuralink, his brain chip company, was set up in 2016.
That's not far.
That's not long ago at all.
No.
And he's saying he's going to be putting these chips in humans by 2021.
That's next year.
That is next year. So you're telling me that in 5 years they've been able to develop this chip. Look how long it took for us to find a cure for cancer.
Right.
Look how long it's taken us to try and find any kind of real solution for COVID-19. And you're telling me that in 5 short years he's been able to develop a chip that is safe enough to go and manipulate the most important part of a human being. Are you kidding me? There is no way he's ready for this.
I am kidding you. He's not done any of this at all. No.
Do you see what I mean?
Yes.
There's no way you can tell me that you are ready for this.
Right. So come on then. What is the good thing about it? Tell me something that we can use it for good.
I will not, sir. I've just called the man 666. Of course there's no good in this.
This is the trouble, isn't it? It's like, because we know we can't control it because it is advancement in quotes. And it's like we as human beings, this is what we do. We'll always move ahead. And so it's like, then do we start shutting it down, and then all of a sudden we become this cult of and being called narrow-minded because like how the like church or the laws used to be with homosexuals or with gay people, and it's like, well you can't shut it down because it's human beings and it's still choice. It's still our choice to decide whether we want to have the chip or not.
Right. Here's the problem. Yes. I understand what you're doing. Here's the problem. I do see what you're saying. There is that element of, oh, yes, well, we don't want to be left behind and we don't want to be seen as narrow-minded. But there are some things that, yes, we can do, but there are some things, but is it expedient for us to do it?
Right.
And when it comes to protecting the human race, okay, point of example is, was it good that we created aeroplanes? Absolutely, yes, it was. Because now we can travel across to America. It no longer takes us 7 weeks to get there. It now takes us 7 hours to get there.
But do we want to go there?
Stop it.
Sorry, go.
So yes, it was expedient. Yes, absolutely. It was good for us to create those aeroplanes. Here's the problem. Same aeroplanes are now destroying our planet.
Right.
Why? Because we live in a monetary system. We're never happy enough with we could have more than enough planes going across. But no, there are some people who want their own planes. I don't want to travel with 300 other people, thank you very much. I just want to go once. We could do it with, there's only planes that go once a day. No, we need to have 7,000 planes going every single day.
Right.
That's our problem. We get greedy. We always have to push the boundaries too far, and we never stop. So we saw when the damage started. We could have stopped this years ago.
Yeah.
Years ago, literally, the moment we said, you know what, we've got an ozone problem. What, was that back in the 80s when we realised this?
Because it was all still, as you say, it was governed by the finances.
There you go.
And it's like, America's an example. It's like with the trains. They didn't want, the trains are better than the cars because you'd have less cars because more people would go by train. But the car industry stopped the development of the trains because they realised, oh, hang on, no, we need to sell our cars. It's all money-based.
And going back to the trains then, even when they first laid the track for those trains, it could have just gone in a straight line practically. No, it goes round and round and round in circles. It wasn't because of the lay of the land, it was for money.
Really?
Yes, the longer they could keep the train tracks going, they were making more money.
I didn't know that.
Yes, that's why it goes round and round in circles.
You're making this up now. You're making it up.
Research it, my friend. That's why it goes round and round in circles, because it was a money thing.
Oh.
Then, of course, now planes, it's a money thing.
Yeah.
We need more planes up there for money. They're going to build another runway for money. We live in a monetary system. And so, therefore, if we thought that, if everybody getting a chip, it will actually be good for us and it will bring healing and it will help us, to be able to overcome certain things, awesome. But the problem is it's not generated by the desire to fix humans.
No.
Of course it's not. It's generated by this desire to control humans in order to make more money.
Right.
And so as long as we're living like that, this is never going to be a good thing. It's never going to have a good outcome because it's going to be about, who are the most dispensable people? Where do we have... What did they say, the French scientists, when they wanted to test some...
the COVID.
For COVID-19?
Yeah,
the first thing out of their mouths? Well, why would we test it in France? Don't you think we should be testing this in Africa?
Right.
So the first place they're going to start testing this or testing the control element of this is going to be in some village in Africa, in some country in Africa, where they're going to say, you know what, they're dispensable. They're going to go to India. They're going to go to and then when they're finished there, they're going to go to, look, they're just the working class. Look, there's 4,000 people who live in homeless on the streets. They're going to go to the vulnerable. They're going to start saying, look, they're disabled. Look, let's test. It didn't work. But now by then they've destroyed, 20,000 lives, 2 million lives. It's this lack of care for human race, for our own species, that is going to destroy us. So that's why I think Elon Musk is very, very dangerous.
He is. And
because
he's got the money
to do whatever he wants. And when you look at what he creates, it's advancement for... Yes, I can see why he wants to advance, and you're right, we should want to advance, but until we've fixed our desire for money and until we've changed the landscape that money is all powerful, it's too dangerous.
We're always going to bring the same problems along with us.
Exactly. So I guess we should put a summary on this, even though there's so much. Please, 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 we can only encourage you, please do study this. Elon Musk, Neuralink, Neura Link. It's his brain chip company. Look into it, because I'm telling you, we are being set up. Because, when I read stuff like this, and then when I look at the people who I shake my head at, who are saying COVID-19 is a big scam, then I get nervous.
Yeah.
Then I think, wait a minute, is there something in what they're saying? Because by locking us in and making us have to do everything online, stopping the need for human contact, heightens the fact that, well, actually, this Neuralink would actually work.
Yeah, it does.
The brain chip works.
And as well, like I was saying about the where we don't foresee where it could all go wrong. And I think with Elon Musk, his journey with President Trump is highlighted as well. Highlights his humanity, his inability to foresee every possible outcome, because as far as he was concerned, this was the guy that was going to help him change the world in the way that they approach industry or whatever. But then, and he's a big advocate for saving the planet, for bringing sorting out the environment.
Yeah.
Elon Musk is a big advocate for that. And so then as soon as Trump said he's pulling out of the Paris Agreement, then Elon Musk had to walk. And it's like, well, that wappened within a year of you knowing him.
Thank you.
Within a year of
Thank you. How
2
many
years
times
of him becoming the president.
Right. So how many times did they sit down and have lunch together?
Right.
Are you telling me that in those lunch meetings you couldn't pick up that Donald Trump, President Trump, literally has no morals?
Right.
You couldn't pick that up?
Right.
And you wanted him to lead America? So therefore, I cannot believe that Elon Musk, as much as he's given to saving the planet, he's for the planet as a whole. He's looking at, he sees people too dispensable. Yeah. It's one thing to be a part of the human race.
Yeah.
But if you're saying, but we can afford to kill 1,000 or 2,000 in order for the greater good, I don't believe in it. I don't believe in it. I believe that every single soul matters. Every single person matters. Every single person matters. And so therefore, we cannot live in a monetary system and have this brain chip, this AI brain chip work. I don't think it will work.
But what are we going to do? Because if we have to pay for everything with peanuts, then...
We can trade. We don't need money. We can trade. We can decide that we no longer use money. We trade. We trade gifts. We trade our
But all
abilities.
I have is my pixiness.
You would have to define it and find its worth. But
yeah,
that's just what. Because when the issues of faith, the issues of spirituality, the issues of emotions, all of these matter. All of these make up the human race. And none of this is taken into account. None of this is taken into account.
It doesn't. So how are we going to end this on a positive note?
We're going to end it by this. We put the words to right. We put the words to right. We put the words to right. We put the words to right.